And no Democrat in the country has been more open borders than, of course, Gavin Newsom, governor of California. And he's making sounds like he might be kicking off his presidential campaign for 2020. What is it? 2028. Listen to this.
Add 4.
I care about people. I don't care who you voted for. I care about people. I care about Trump supporters. I care about RFK Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people. I care about protecting them, their public safety, and their public health.
So after a couple of years of conservatives being fascists and, following Hitler, he's now going around to these red counties in red districts in California and trying to make nice with conservatives.
Right, because the Democrat Party saw a lot of losses in that Central Valley of California. And so, listen, I don't know how sincere Gavin Newsom is. He doesn't strike me as the most sincere guy. But
I can assure you.
But I can say that he's doing better in the post-Trump election environment than, say, a Kathy Hochul, who's digging her heels in. And so that is somebody who at least is saying saying the right stuff, whether he actually means it or doesn't.
He doesn't.
But at least he recognizes what just happened in November.
Well, I think don't you think he's shocked? I just think he's shocked that his state moved so red in this last election. I don't think he saw that coming. And so that's why he's out touring saying, I've got to do some damage control here. And I agree it's in response to Trump winning.
And in response to the fact that he wants to be the next president.
He wants to be the next president, and he sees an open lane there. But he's also kind of saying at the same time, we're going to Trump-proof California.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to the environment, when it comes to the border. So, which of those two messages is going to win out? I don't think it's the I care about people message that's probably going to win out. I think it's what he actually does, which, by the way, is why people in California said, we don't like what's happening. We don't like what you do. We want to see something else.
And it is interesting to compare Hochul to Newsom because, of course, both New York and California moved a full 12 points towards Trump between 2020 and 2024.
Yeah.
And so you are seeing two opposite reactions to it. And I guess you should give him credit, but I can assure you he means none of it.
Well,
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.